Welcome to another episode. I'm Hashmat Mubaraz, and today we have an inspiring guest, Maya Kurai. I hope I pronounced it correctly. She is a high school student at Stanford International School, a mental health advocate, and the founder of Help Math, a project providing accessible mental health support. Maya is also passionate about women's empowerment and has worked with a young women globally through the AFA's Global STEM Accelerators program. I cannot wait, guys, to start talking with her about her journey and the impact she hopes to make. Once again, Maya, welcome to AM Podcast.
Yeah, I'm really excited and honored to be part of this podcast today, honestly. The work you're doing through the podcast and amplifying voices and promoting equality is something that I deeply resonate with. So yeah, I'm really grateful to be a part of this podcast.
Thank you once again for joining us. But first of all, I would like to ask some questions about your experience at Stanford International School. But before that, I would like to say that in many parts of the world, education is a gateway to opportunities. Yet for millions of young girls, that gateway remains closed. For example, in Afghanistan, the Taliban's policy have shut girls out of schools, leaving them without access to learning, personal growth, or even a hope for a better future. But you, as a student at Stanford International School, has experienced a different reality. Could you tell us a little about your experience at Stanford International School?
Yeah, sure. Well, I just moved to Stanford International School this year, and honestly, it's been a turning point of my life. I've attended five different schools because my mom's job, she's required to relocate every couple of years.
Oh.
So starting over here and like becoming familiar with everyone was a little bit hard for me, but honestly, the people here just like helped me a lot with resonating with everyone and like communicating with everyone, even if I have nothing in common with them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, and yeah, and what also has shaped me is that most of my school's principals over the years were women. So yeah, growing up in a female-led schools taught me that women are capable of everything. It's made me confident in who I am, and it's why I'm so passionate about spreading that belief that other girls or other women everywhere need to like be shown how that women can lead, women can do anything. Yeah, I just yeah, I'm really eager to just spread the belief that and show everyone that we can do anything and break the barriers.
Okay, thank you. But as I have read about your educational background, you're an advocate of mental health. Before asking my question, I would like to say that mental health is often overlooked, especially in countries where the focus is primarily on survival and economic struggles. In
Yeah.
places like Afghanistan, where war and instability have left a deep scars, mental health remains an unspoken crisis. Many pupils suffer in silence, which is something very painful for me because resources are scarce and seeking help is often stigmatized. It will be so interesting for us to hear that what inspired you to start and to launch HelpMath.
Well, Helpmates came from a very personal place. Growing up, there was the silence in my house, not just the absence of noise, but the kind that waits heavy in the air. My mom, who's the strongest, I believe, she's a resilient army officer, was stuck in an abusive marriage for years. I didn't understand what was happening at the time. I just knew something felt wrong. But everything changed when she finally sought therapy. Watching her heal, seeing her find her voice again, it opened my eyes to how powerful mental health support can be. That's when I realized how many people, not just in my family, but in my whole community, were trapped in the same silence,
Mhm.
feeling like help was out of reach. I wanted to create something that would make support accessible to everyone, no matter their situation. That's how Helpmate was born.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, my project is a
there is
platform
there is a
that
personal link on it. Yeah.
yeah, it's exactly. Yeah, it came from a very deep personal experience. And yeah, so my Helpmate is a platform that I'm creating, and that connects people with therapists or trained listeners, offering free or affordable mental health support, as I wanted to make sure that no one
Very
had to
nice.
feel as isolated as we once did.
That is nice. What you're doing, it's a very good work. But women across the world, from Afghanistan to Egypt, and also in Western countries, also, many women and girls face abuse, lack of reproductive health education, and little to no access to psychological support. Without awareness, many don't even realize they have a right to safety, dignity, and well-being. But you saw this an issue and found a school club to educate students, particularly girls, about abuse prevention, reproductive health, and mental wellness. Would you like to share that? What leads you to start this initiative?
Yeah, sure. Well, for me, it also stems from a really personal background where I've been a victim of CSA or child sexual abuse, and I never really learned that it was abuse until I was older and actually like found it through the internet. But I didn't actually learn it from school, or we lack this
Ooh.
kind of like sex education. And
Oh.
so the idea of al-batalat or the superheroes
Mhm.
um or the supergirls came from my own experiences and the stories that I heard around me. I remember being a teenager hearing girls whisper about things like abuse or reproductive health, but not really understanding what any of it meant. I thought, what if we had a space to talk about this openly? What
Mhm.
if someone had told me that what abuse looked like or how to protect myself? Yeah, after completing a training course with the World Health Organization on mental health and supporting survivors of violence,
Mhm.
I felt empowered to do something about it. I teamed up with my school psychologist, and together we created a safe place where girls could have a real conversations and about these important topics. For many of them, it was the first time to they truly felt heard or seen. Watching them gain confidence and knowledge reminded me exactly why I started this club in the first place.
Wow, your story is inspiring, dear Maya. There's a lot to learn from you. There's a lot to learn from your experience, and actually, what you're doing right now is a good work for other girls to raise awareness, to equip them with the knowledge to keep themselves safe. But I strongly believe supporting girls is more than just giving them access to resources, but it is about making sure they feel confident and capable of shaping their own future, like you. In Afghanistan, where young women have been stripped of their right to education and work, the world is witnessing a generation of girls being erased from public life. In other regions, maybe challenges may look different. I don't know, but the need for support remains the same. I know. Would you like to tell us that how do you think we can better support young girls in taking charge of their well-being and future?
Well, I think as you said, like it starts with giving girls the tools and the confidence to believe in themselves. Education is key, not just academic, but also life education. They
Mhm.
need to know about their rights, their health, and how to recognize when something isn't right. But more than that, they need safe spaces where they can share their experiences without fear of judgment.
Yep,
And also, I
I
believe
agree.
mentorship is also huge. When I volunteered with Risala's Big Brother program, mentoring over 400 orphaned and endangered children, I saw firsthand how powerful it is to have someone believe in you. Sometimes all it takes is one person to show a girl what she's capable of achieving, and that she's capable of achieving literally everything, anything. If we combine education and genuine support system, we can help girls not just survive but thrive.
Wow, thank you. I do not have a lot of information about mental health as I'm a politician guy. As far as I know about mental health and well-being are closely tied to a person's sense of purpose and security. But in conflict zones, trauma is passed down through generations, making mental health an issue that cannot be ignored. But but your passion for medicine and psychiatry reflects need for more professionals and who can address these challenges with compassion and understanding. You're interested in medicine and psychiatry. What excites you most about this field?
Well, for me, psychiatry is more than just a medical field. It's about understanding people's stories and helping them navigate their struggles. Growing up, I saw how mental health issues can shape someone's life, even when no one talks about it. My mom's journey from being in an abusive marriage to finding healing through therapy showed me just how transformative mental health can be. What
Mm-hmm.
excites me most about psychiatry is the chance to make a real difference in people's lives. It's not just about diagnosing problems, it's about offering hope and guiding people through their darkest moments and helping them rebuild themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm passionate about changing how mental health is perceived, especially in communities where it's still stigmatized. Like my community, our community ourselves. I wanted to, yeah, I wanted to create spaces where people feel safe to ask for help without fear or shame.
Oh, yeah. But can I ask you, where do you live right now? Do you live in Egypt?
Yeah, I do live in Egypt.
Oh, that is nice. There is another question that I would like to ask, which relates to your long-term goals. That every change maker has a vision, like me and you, that to create something to have impact on the world. But for Afghan girls, the dream is as simple as sitting in the classrooms again, freely walking to streets and pursuing careers of their choice. But for you, it is about ensuring the mental health support is accessible for women in everywhere. How could you describe the impact you hope to leave on the world?
Well, I want to be the person I needed when I was younger. So I hope to create a world where mental health care is accessible to everyone, no matter their background or financial situation. Yeah, through helpmates and the work I've done with Al-Batalat, my goal is to break down the barriers that keep people from getting the support they need. But beyond just offering resources, I want to change how people think about mental health. I want to reduce suicide rates in Egypt. And yeah, beyond by fostering a culture where asking for help isn't just a weakness or shame, but as a strength. If I can help even one person find their voice, break free from silence, and start healing, then I'll feel like I've made a difference.
Whoa, nice. You know, it is so interesting to talk to you with hours and hours to listen to your experience, to listen for your hopes and to share your stories. I had also some friends that they were studying psychology when we were studying at Expert International Training and Testing Center. There were two ladies that they were studying psychology and they were always talking about these things. Actually, the amount of basic information that I have right now about mental health, psychology, I don't know, depression, whatever, it is because of them. But as the last question, I would like to know what is your message for your sister inside Afghanistan whose devices have been silenced more than 3 years and they have been banned from education? What is your message for them?
Well, first I have a message for you, which is I encourage you to actually search more about mental health because it can be really life-changing for you, especially as a person and for your personal growth. And as I know that you're an advocate for like a lot of rights for people, so you do need to have this background. I think it's gonna help you a lot with your personal growth and hopefully the growth of your community.
Thank you for your
And
suggestion.
my message for the Afghan girls, I would say to my sisters in Afghanistan, I know it can feel like the world is too heavy on your shoulders, like your voice doesn't matter, but it does. You're stronger than the challenges you face, and your dreams are valid, no matter what anyone says. I want you to know that even in the darkest times, there's light within you. Lean on each other, support one another, and never stop believing in your power to create change. You are not alone in this journey, and together we can build a future where every girl feels safe, valued, and empowered to chase her dreams. You're capable of more than you know, and the world needs your strength and your voice.
Completely agree with what you have said. Thank you once again for joining us. I hope to see you in a future episode. It is our honor to have you in AM podcast and to talk more about your experience and to talk more about your works and what you're doing. Thank you once again for joining us. It was a great conversation. Actually, I have learned a lot about mental health, but I promise you that I will do a research on mental health.
Yeah, well, thank you too for having me and for creating a space where these important conversations can happen. Yeah, I'm really interested in the initiative of your work or your podcast, and yeah, I'll be uh always like stay in contact with you guys, hopefully.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your